Well, the warm temperatures we experienced this past weekend, they're not here to stay.
And that means you might want to light up the fireplace again.
7 and 4's Alyssa Heron joins us live in Grand Traverse County to show us how to make your fireplace safe to enjoy this winter.
Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Brendan and Melissa. I am here with owner and operator of Heritage Chimney Sweeps, Terry Martin. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Can you just tell me, what is the first step people want to take when they're getting ready to use their fireplace this season?
They want to get it checked. Usually I tell people they want to have it checked before they light the first fire. Call a chimney sweep like myself or other guys. Another quick thing they can do is just, open up their doors, make sure their damper is open. When they open up the damper, a lot of times that's an indicator you open up if stuff drops down. It means there's probably some blockage or could be some blockage. So at that point, you probably want to make sure you call a chimney sweep. But typically, I tell people once they get ready to start that first fire, damper is open, get their logs and their paper ready to go. But before they actually do that, make sure they take a piece of paper and I tell them to light it and twist and kind of hold it up there. They call it preheating the chimney. I call it Statue of Liberty for most of my customers so they understand it. Once they get their draft going upward, at that point, they can probably light their fire and get ready to go.
All right. So what are some things that people need to look out for when they're actually opening their fireplace?
Usually, first thing I tell them when they open it up, kind of look at the general firebox area. Sometimes they'll see water spots or there's dampness in there, and that would indicate there's probably an issue going on up above. If they try to open up the damper, some of the fireplaces, they go to open a damper and the damper falls. It means it's probably rusted and it can be replaced because of water damage or something. Those typically are the first two things to look for. Kind of look at the inside of the firebox, make sure there's no bricks missing or damaged what we call fire brick panels. They're great, make sure they're great, it's in good shape. Those are typically the first things I tell people to look for.
Okay, now we were talking earlier, and I never realized this, but how often do you see chimney fires?
I see them every year. I generally do about 20 to 30 jobs each year of repair work from chimney fires, cracked flue tiles, some of the newer fireplaces like yours, prefabs. The inner liner can buckle and warp, and we have to replace that. So typically about 20 to 30 repairs I do each year just from chimney fires.
All right, so it's very important to get your chimneys checked. How often do you recommend people get a chimney sweep?
Typically, I tell people, my customers, what I've always told them in the past, the first time I do a customer, their chimney, I want to come back the next year so I know what your burning habits are. That's the first thing I want to know. Once I do that, I can actually start telling my customers, okay, I might need to do it every year, or we might do it every 2 or 3 years, because some of my customers are just seasonal burners. There's not a big issue with it, but I have some customers that I religiously clean them every single year, or at least inspect them yearly. And a lot of people do it too if they have rental homes, because insurance, they want to make sure they're checked yearly.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. There's also some products that we're going to talk about in the next half hour that people can grab at any hardware store to clean their chimney, and we'll show you just how to use those.
And chimney, chimney, you know that song. Well, 7 and 4's Alyssa Heron is going to show you how to be as lucky as can be when it comes to keeping your homes warm and, of course, safe this winter for the entire family. It's 6:20 and you're waking up with 7 and 4 News today.
Good morning, Brendan and Melissa. I am here with owner and operator of Heritage Chimney Sweeps, Terry Martin. Thank you for joining us again. We're going to hop right into some safety cleaning tips for your chimney place this season, and, in case Santa comes down it, so it's all nice and clean. So first of all, let's talk about what we can do with paper to test it out.
Okay, I usually tell customers before you actually light the fire, you can have your logs and paper set up in there, but it's a good trick just to take some newspaper, kind of twist it and wad it up, and make sure the damper is open, and then you light this inside the fireplace and kind of hold it up. I always call it Statue of Liberty. You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, let's actually go down and do that. So you open this up. Now you're also telling me that there's a tip for your doors as well when you're doing the fireplace.
Yeah. The big thing is most people burn with their fireplace open just like this, and you lose about 90% of your heat. And not only the wood heat, but you'll lose the heat from your house will just continue to suck up through there. If you close your doors, you regain about 35 to 45% of that heat back in. Makes it more efficient, more heat, less wood consumption, but it also will take care of maybe some issues starting to build up. With constantly opening, you're going to lose the heat, and the smoke actually cools down, starts to build up creosote. So with the doors closed, you actually can start helping to alleviate that problem.
All right, so let's light this up, and then once you put it in the fire, what should people be looking for?
So I'll make sure our damper's open, which we already checked it is, and just kind of watch it. As you light it, it should the flame and the smoke should carry up, and that's just what we call preheating. Always make sure it kind of gets going good, and then
Okay.
you can kind of see it, the flames wanting to go up.
And then you'll also hear a noise as
A
well.
lot of times they'll make kind of a, I always tell people it's like a swoosh noise. You'll hear it taking off.
Okay.
So that's actually going pretty good.
Wonderful,
So,
and you can tell that it's going up. So,
then we can close the doors.
alrighty.
And you can close them almost all the way, like, like crack them up a little bit to actually kind of get it going a little bit, once your fire's going. You've got your logs in, and that'll actually get it going. Because you can see the flame shooting up right now, so that means we got a good draft of air going that way now. And once you can do that with your logs and paper here set up, but once you know that your draft is carrying up, then you can light your paper here, and you're ready to go.
Okay, good. Let's talk about these products really quick that people can actually pick up at any hardware store, correct?
Okay. Well, the first thing I tell most of my customers, they really need to have an extinguisher handy. You can buy these. This is just a real compact one. We sell them off the truck for like $20. You can go to the hardware stores, and they have small ones like this, or, most people have that red one that everybody seems to have. But you want to have one somewhere around the house to where you know where it's at. You can get to it quickly if you need it.
Okay, and really quick, just tell me the difference between these two.
Okay, this is a chimney powder that I sell, and you can get at any of the hardware stores. It's probably the best one to use because you can actually put it on the embers. I used to tell my customers half of a lid or 2 tablespoons, throw it in on there, and that actually works in getting a real high heat real quick that will burn stuff off. This is another widely sold product out on the market. It's called a chimney sweeping log. A lot of people use that. Actually, if you read the directions, it tells you it's about every 60 fires. But I really promote the powder more than anything, or just burning weekly. A real hot fire once a week will keep you out of a lot of problems.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. You told me a lot more tips, and we'll put those all on our website at UpNorthLive.com. Reporting live in Grand Traverse County, Alyssa Heron, 7 and 4 News.